All right, we're going.
Welcome. Do you ever do that thing where you start riffing and you just haven't started recording and it was really funny and it wasn't recording?
Yes, I have, Colin.
Yes, me too. Just 20 seconds ago.
Great.
All right. So we're recording on a Thursday.
Welcome to Thursday Cast.
It's kind of weird. But here we are.
The forecast is sunny with some cool winds blowing in.
It's going to be really nice today, I think. I woke up today and my phone was telling me the high for the day was like 61 and the low was in the 40s. And that's really nice.
It's like 60 degrees out. It's fantastic.
My ideal weather is 60 degrees. Some people say like 75, but no. It's 60. Because I prefer slightly more cold over slightly more warm.
I like 72 with a slight breeze.
Okay.
That's my degree.
Yeah. A breeze is always nice.
Yeah.
But anyway...
Slight, though, because it has to be nice enough so you can golf.
Yes, right.
If it's too windy, then golf isn't fun.
I have never golfed, unless you count mini golf.
I don't.
Yeah, I have never golfed. Well, that's like saying I've never gone to war, unless you count Call of Duty. Okay, so...
By the way, you were correct.
I was
about
correct.
Concert stuff, and my mom's crazy.
Sounds good.
So good.
All right.
Don't worry about it, everybody.
We have that covered. All right.
I just thought I'd let you know now before I forget, because I would forget.
So, how do we start this again? Emails.
I don't.
Do we have any emails?
No.
Okay. You want to do music first?
Yeah, let's do music first. I'm itching.
I'm itching to talk about my song of the week and my movie of the week because for once I'm actually super excited about both. Usually it's just like, whatever, I'll do this one. But I have strong feelings about both of them.
Good.
So, yeah.
Well, let's start with your first strong feeling, then we'll go to my fairly good feeling, and then your second strong feeling. My
song of the week is, well, it's not going to come as a surprise to anybody from our movie club Discord. My song of the week is Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Imogen Heap.
She is a English singer, pop kind of, not really. I don't know what genre.
She's not pop punk?
Because this is a song that's kind of difficult to put a genre on. It's only vocal. There's no instrumentation unless you count the effects on her voice instrumentation, which I don't think so. It's kind of a a cappella with one person with like layering and like interesting melodies. And it's not usually my bag, but this song is just beautiful. And I was listening to it last night and I was listening to it over and over and over again. It's just wonderful. And I looked up the lyrics, and it's really, really sad. And that's just bonus points, really. So, one thing I have to say about this is if you aren't familiar with the song, like you're not familiar with the name of the song, okay, you're gonna recognize it, but don't be too alarmed when you do. Because it'll ruin your experience. It's a good song. Just don't think about anything else. I take it by your face you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, not at all.
Okay. I'm going to show it to you in its entirety after we're done here. And, it's everybody's heard it, but it's not... You'll see. Okay. But it's a great song.
Sure.
Check it out.
Oily marks appear on walls where pleasure moments hung before the takeover. The sweet.
Oh, was that the meme video, Beyond the Meme thing?
What?
No? Okay. Never mind.
What do you... Well, I posted something about it mentioning a meme yesterday, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
What's your song?
Did you say give it a listen?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I said check it out.
Check it out. That'll be good.
Yeah.
All right, my song of the week is The Apartment Song
by
Tom Petty.
Cool. I've
Yeah.
never heard this one.
It's
but I do
really
like
good.
Tom Petty.
It's one of the songs I grew up with, and I didn't realize that it wasn't popular until I talked to somebody about it, and they're just like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've never heard of it.
And it's understandable now that I have grown up and realized. It's this super sad song about this guy that's just really sad and lonely, and he's like, my past was awful. I was living in a shithole, and I mean, I wouldn't give it up for anything, but it was bad, and now I'm lonely and sad. Cool. But the song is a very kind of upbeat, fast driving pace of a song. It's fairly repetitive, but it's so dang catchy that I listened to it like 5 to 10 times over the past couple days.
Nice.
It's real good. I love it, and you should be giving it a listen right about now.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that I know Tom Petty's hits. I don't know much beyond that, though.
Yeah, me too for the most part.
Yeah.
This is just one of those that snuck in when my parents introduced me to music.
Right.
Yeah. So I always thought it was part of the hits, but little did I know.
No. Well, popularity doesn't mean anything.
No, this is
doesn't change
one of my
the
favorite
song
songs
in question. So
yeah,
it's
good. So I hope you liked it.
All right, I do actually have an album of the week as well.
Oh.
And it's Stadium Arcadium by Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay.
Because a couple days ago I was listening through Stadium Arcadium just out of like sheer nostalgia, and it's still a top-notch album. I'd honestly say my favorite Red Hot Chili Pepper album varies. It depends on my mood. If I'm feeling really angry, it's One Hot Minute. If I'm feeling really relaxed and laid back, it's By the Way. But you cannot deny that their best album, objectively, is Stadium Arcadium, because there's just no competition. Specifically the song Wet Sand, the outro to Wet Sand, like the last 40 seconds, is just the coolest thing that Red Hot Chili Peppers have ever done, and it's a phenomenal song. And that was going to be my song of the week until I came across Hide and Seek.
I think I did Wet Sand.
Did you?
I think so.
Okay, well, we got that covered then.
All right.
Well, we talked about Wet Sand when we were doing our Red Hot Chili Peppers rundown.
Well, it very well might have been that, too.
And I wanted to, this is going to segue into, I wanted to bring up, remember how we went through every Red Hot Chili Peppers album and discussed what we thought were like the best songs and occasionally the worst songs? Mm-hmm. That was fun. I want to do it again, but I don't know what artists we do that for. My first thought was Modest Mouse, but I don't know if that would be I don't know how balanced that conversation would be.
Not incredibly right now. Like I said, I've stuck to about 3 to 4 albums of theirs. Mm-hmm. Well, now it's getting a little bit bigger, but slowly but surely. So it would still be mostly you. If you actually wanted to go album by album, I would suggest Soundgarden.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good one.
I would want to
I would have to listen to a couple more of theirs.
Yeah, a couple weeks to refresh and listen. Make sure.
I could give us an assignment. I would like to do Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay.
That'd be fun, because I've always wanted to like listen through their entire discography, because it's not that many albums.
Okay.
It's like I can't give you a number, but it's like it's doable.
All right.
They don't have a massive discography.
So, yeah, no. I'll get on that, and then I'll actually want to take notes this time, because otherwise I'll just forget. Kind of like when we did the listen through the Death Grips album. Yeah. I ended up mixing them together because I just didn't write anything down.
Right.
So like a couple of them were just kind of jumbled in my head, which is easy for Death Grips to do.
Funny you should bring up Death Grips. There's a new Death Grips single out. It's called Streaky.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's very... It's okay. It's like it's weird listening to it coming off of Bottomless Pit, because Bottomless Pit was one of their most insane, most aggressive albums, and this is like pretty laid back for Death Grip standards. I don't know if you heard it yet.
No, I haven't.
I don't think it being more laid back doesn't mean you'd like it. You probably wouldn't like it, but it's still Death Grip's weird. It's just not Death Grip's aggressive.
Okay.
It's interesting. I don't know. It's kind of a bland track, and I hope I like it more in conceptually when the rest of You're the Snitch gets released. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking forward to that, but it's okay. It's a nice little teaser, I suppose.
In other news, I've listened to some Brockhampton, as our email has told us.
I've heard one Brockhampton song.
Nice.
And it was very chill, very laid back, and very, very nice.
The couple I listened to, I don't remember the names offhand because I just kind of hit shuffle on my way to school one day. And so far, like, it's all right. You know, I'll probably keep listening to them, and I'll keep you updated from there.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm sorry we can't go into more detail on that, but, you know, so far, good suggestion.
Yeah.
I'll let you know more later.
Yeah.
So, do you want to get into the big news on music, or you got another small thing? Or?
I don't think I think I've done all the small things. Let's... Yeah, it's a music joke.
I saw your face. You're just like, oh, here we go. I'm going to say it. Oh, here it comes. I said it. Look at me. I'm so smart and cool.
That's how it goes. Now we can talk about the big thing. Obviously, Childish Gambino's got a new track out. This Is America.
And it blew up.
Really blew up. It's currently at 64 million plays on YouTube.
And it was at like 50 yesterday.
Yeah, it's well on its way to 100 million. It's... Okay, so I heard about it like right when it came out because somebody posted it on our Discord, and I'm like, oh, cool. And I listened to it, and I watched the video, and I was like, neat. It's I'm not a huge... I'll say this right now. I'm not a massive fan of the song itself. Musically, I like its message, but musically, it's like, eh. Some people are saying it's, you know, genius. Some people saying it's just this masterpiece of a song. I'm saying I don't really like this. I don't really like the short percussive trap flavored like shallow. Oh, shallow is too negative a term, but you know what I mean. The you're really not very lyrical, more like
very stereotypical popular rap.
Yes.
Let's get into that in just a second.
Okay.
Because here's my introduction for This Is America.
Because this will tie into, it's like that might be the point.
Yes.
Yes.
So I didn't hear about This Is America because, you know, I've been busy running around taking care of finals and doing this and that. So I missed the Discord chat on it, and I missed, you know, people talking about it until yesterday.
Right.
I woke up yesterday and I walked outside, got in my car, went to school, and I was chatting with a couple people, and the first person that mentioned it to me was my brother earlier that morning. Mm-hmm. He's like, oh, Childish Gambino released a new song. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, no, it's crazy. The video is awesome. You got to watch it.
Yeah.
Okay. And, you know, I take my brother fairly seriously, so I probably was going to. And I went to school to take care of one of my last finals, and everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
Literally, I'd like 7 people that I was near just are like, oh my God, you haven't seen it yet? You have to go see it.
As these things always go, it's like a small group of music, you know, music enthusiasts, they hear the songs that comes out, and typically it's like, that's okay. And then like 2 days later, if it's gonna be a media sensation, it just explodes overnight.
Yeah. Well, and then
it takes the general populace. It takes them a while to catch up on something, but once they do, it's everywhere.
I mean, it released what, Sunday?
Yeah.
So I mean, this was 4 days. It took 4 days for this to blow up big enough for me to hear, even in my little bubble. And then to top it all off, I went home, I listened to it, I watched the video, I watched a couple more videos kind of explaining it, did a little bit of research just because I thought I should for this one, and because it interested me.
What I did was I didn't look up interpretations of the video. I looked up the lyrics and made my own interpretations, so we can go head to head on this one. But
for sure. And I mean, I watched the video like 3 times before I looked anything up just to get my own opinions on it.
Yeah.
And then to top off the night, it ended with Colin saying, "Oh, by the way, you should watch This Is America."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, as I was typing it, you hadn't mentioned it to me at all, and as I was typing, I was like, he's probably seen it because everybody's seen it at this point. But I just wanted to make sure so that we knew.
No, I had just finished doing like all of my looking up and watching the video like 5 times. So yeah, no, it was funny. I laughed to myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my introduction to it. It was pretty crazy, actually. You know, and even Cav. Mm-hmm. You know, Cav has been posting about community on her Snapchat, and so I sent her a message. So I accidentally like video chatted with her twice because I was trying to send a message and I don't understand technology because I'm like 84 years old.
Yeah. It's happened to me.
So she messaged me and just said hi, and I'm like, sorry, I was just gonna send a picture of community and be like community vibes or some shit. And so she just laughs and she's like, yeah, no, I've been watching this because of This Is America, and I'm just like, oh my god, it's everywhere.
Yeah. No, she Cav posted to her story something about This Is America, I believe, like her listening to it, and I was like, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's flipping everywhere.
I there was a while where it felt like literally everywhere I turned, it was This Is America. Like I told Josh this story. I went to a friend's house to cook some things, not meth, food.
You know, nobody was okay.
I made it sound ambiguous, so I wanted to clear that up.
I mean, I wasn't thinking that, but okay.
Anyway, I was listening to it as I do at my house, and then I was like, oh, I'd better head over there. It's about time to go over there. And as I arrived there, they were playing it there. So it's like I literally everywhere I went, it was playing. So it's taken the world by storm, and it's odd to me that our boy Childish Gambino has done this.
Our boy.
Well, yeah, we've revealed ourselves to be big Childish Gambino fans in recent episodes.
Yeah, it's true.
So, and it's just surprising. It's just like, I know Childish Gambino is pretty popular, but it's just like it's odd to see him drop this track that is just this sensation.
Dominates.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it really is.
But it's very political, which I guess is a thing we should talk about.
Yeah, we should.
There's a lot of symbolism going on in the video, a lot of commentary, specifically, but not limited to, gun violence is a big theme of both the song and the video. And there's some pretty shocking imagery related to that. And that's what I liked about it, because it's this really... what Anthony Fantano said, and I hate to steal things from Mellon, but what Anthony Fantano said about it... What?
Is he just called
Mellon? Don't worry about it, yeah.
Okay.
They call him Mellon.
Okay.
I hate to steal things from Anthony Fantano, but what he says is it's striking commentary because it's uncomfortable commentary. And I agree.
Yeah,
it's a hard to swallow pill, the video. And there's this. Did you notice they edit in silence? Like in the video, there's like it just all the music stops and everything stops for 17 seconds. Did you notice that? Like at some point in the song, everything just stops. What? You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
17 seconds? Like
for
a long time?
Yeah, like for 17 seconds. You didn't notice that?
Did I just like lose my mind? Like near the end?
Yeah, well, near the end-ish, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So it's like...
Well, the song hasn't stopped. The song starts after the The song continues after the silence,
yeah.
but things stop for like 17 seconds.
17 seconds?
And it's specifically 17 seconds. I didn't look this up, but I saw somebody in the comments claiming it's specifically 17 seconds because that's how many victims were in the that church shooting, which is referenced.
The 2015. What is it? Charleston?
Oh, really? Yeah, like
Church?
the more recent one. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what to look up for this, but basically there was a shooting in a church pretty recently, and that's referenced by Childish Gambino using an AK-47 to gun down a choir, which is part of the shocking imagery in this video. And there's a lot of gun violence in the video, and it can be boiled down to the entire thing is there's gun violence, but it's like all happy and dancing. But throughout the video, there's acts of violence off in the background, which symbolizes America's attention span being very short. They just want to have fun with a nice pop song, and they ignore all the horrible stuff happening around them. That's the entire point of the video.
It also deals with specific race issues, as you know, is fairly clear as well. You know, it's the majority of the movie is African Americans dancing in whatever styles end up being. There's some traditional African dances as well.
Yeah.
Along with Childish Gambino doing these really weird bodily motions like throughout the video. Like he's like twisting his torso and arms.
Yeah.
He has some really interesting poses. Like when you pause it.
Yeah.
He's looking very ragged.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing as well.
I was amazed. I was surprised by his look and his physique the first time I watched it. I was like, this is Childish Gambino. He looks different. He's not like...
He looks like he's been chased.
Yeah.
And persecuted.
Yeah.
And I think that's the idea.
Yeah. Right.
He looks very, very, what is it? I don't know, worn down, gritty, experienced.
He does some silly things in the videos, which actually leads to another point I want to make. People are memeing the video. What's your opinion on the fact that it's become a big meme?
Well, the first meme I saw, which was yesterday, was so everybody I think by now has seen the meme with the Eric Andre show.
Yes.
Where he has the AK-47, he turns to Hannibal Buress.
Well, it's a pistol, but yeah.
Or pistol, whatever. And then turns back and says, why did so-and-so do this?
Yeah.
How could this happen?
Which always bugged me, because that's not what he says in the show. But, memes rarely make sense. But.
And, I mean, it was not a great meme to start with, but now they've taken it and they've just passed it on to this. With the shooting of the choir.
Yeah.
And I think it's fairly disrespectful, actually. The Eric Andre show is meant for comedy, and so that would make sense. And this isn't. Like, this is a political statement, and I understand a lot of political things are memed, and they're taken lightly and changed into being something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not like super upset.
Right.
I don't think that it was. I don't think it's something that is. I don't think it justified. Like, it's not funny. It's not good. It's been done. It's played out, and it's pointless.
Yeah, but not funny describes most memes out there.
That's fair.
Yeah. But here's my thing. I have a complicated position on this as a massive meme lord. I have complicated feelings. I don't really swing one way or the other, because on the one hand, yes, it can be seen as disrespectful, and it's also the fact that we're making funny jokes out of this video that is satirizing the fact that Americans make funny jokes out of everything is incredibly ironic, and we're just... If I get people saying that if you're doing that, you like completely miss the point of the video. But also, there's something to be said for, you can make funny jokes about something just for entertainment value, but also understand the message therein.
Yeah.
Like, it's odd to me that, like, is it unfair to put this video up on such a high a pedestal that it becomes sacred and you're not allowed to make jokes about it?
No.
Like it's sort of it's odd to me that just this pop rap song has gotten such a status that people are like, how dare you meme this blessed video? And it's like, I get the idea behind them saying it's disrespectful, but I also think, you know, like the internet's going to meme everything and it's not worth getting worked up over. But
I mean, I'm not worked up over it. It's just I don't see the reason or the point, and it's
popular.
Disrespectful,
It's popular, and that's
memes
the point.
do.
Like memes just reflect pop culture. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Like it's so popular that it's like, of course memes are going to spread.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
If anything becomes popular, memes happen. Like that's just the nature of the internet.
And I mean, I don't typically like the majority of all memes I see in general.
Right, yeah.
So I find most of them to be kind of silly and pointless.
Oh, yeah, definitely. As a big, like I said, as a huge meme lord, I agree.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's less about actual humor and more about an interesting microcosm of the internet. Because it's just this thing that continues to elude me, how the meme culture works. It's always evolving. As soon as you like get a feel for it, it changes. Mm-hmm. And it's just an interesting culture to me.
But I mean, okay, so let's look at it. So the memes right now, that are circling are the shooting the choir.
There's the image of the choir, and then Gambino peeking around the doorway, and it's this like, you know, thing, and then things about to happen to thing. That structure of meme.
Yeah. So there's that one, and I think there's another one, but I don't.
Oh, there's several.
Yeah.
there's a lot. My boy, my boy Dolan Darker made a meme about it. So it's well and truly mainstream if he's making memes about it.
So I mean, it's nothing new though. Like people have been making fun of, you know, people trying to take serious issues and put them into light. People have been making fun of that on the internet forever. Yeah. Like it's you know, the Holocaust jokes, and then there's a fantastic video out there that's it's satire, but it's this African American man playing a piano.
Oh yeah.
And they turn to him and they say, "So what do you think?" And he says, "Oh, you know, I ain't allowed to think." And he continues to play the entertainer, and then says,
"Which is
fucker."
Yeah, which is funny because it's satire.
Yeah.
You know, we were actually just talking about. This is almost an unrelated, but kind of an unrelated topic. We're talking about how, you know, like not all offensive humor is like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
You know, there's an idea behind like you can understand why it's funny, and the reason it's funny is because it's wrong. We intrinsically as humans, if we see somebody fall down a flight of stairs, we just laugh. We can't help ourselves, you know? Mm-hmm. That's just where a lot of humor comes from.
I think where people start getting offended, though, is when they start not seeing it as, oh, that's wrong, but as seeing it as in, oh, you really think that.
Yeah, right.
And that's a big problem, because that means that, you know, as people have to start being more PC, and that's kind of sad. Because...
And all of this is why I voted for Donald Trump.
Oh, my God. I hate everything right now.
No, I'm just kidding.
But no, it's ridiculous, because there's things being taken out of context and put into new contexts that make other people very upset. So when people take This Is America and they make jokes about, you know, shooting up the choir, and they turn that into a meme, mm-hmm. There's outrage, because they think that people actually think that's okay.
Right.
But it's reasonable, and it's understandable, because culture, there's people that actually think that that's okay.
Meme culture, for the most part, takes almost nothing seriously. Like, you have to... It's and you know what? I'm not even... Like, I'll be the defender of meme culture, because I like it so much, and I'm part of it. But the thing is... I don't even think... I think it was just bound to happen. Because the whole reason there's an outrage over people making memes about this is because it got so famous. people meme horrific events all the time.
Definitely.
It's just this one got so much media coverage, and people were like, "I cannot believe this is happening. It's terrible." It's like it always happens. You're never gonna stop it.
It happens every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, it's not gonna stop. And just because it happened for something that you know about doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's a normal day in the life for most people.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's something that should be looked at and seen for what it is. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Most people take it as a joke. The few that do not turn it into this horrible thing like, oh my God. That's how, you know, what was it? Pepe the Frog got turned into a hate symbol.
I didn't even understand that whole deal. It's so stupid to me. Pepe the Frog is not...
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is a perfect example for
not understanding
a pretty harmless meme, and the media being like, meme culture is not. They're Nazis. They're all Nazis. And it's like, oh boy,
it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's what meme culture is. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
for the sake of being ridiculous.
The idea behind meme culture is it's the last, not the last, but it's a form of absurdism, and the idea is, as absurdism becomes normal, you have to get more absurd, and that leads to very extreme humor, and that is what meme culture is now. Remember what memes were like when we were a kid? It was a picture of a baby holding sand in its fist and it is this caption like, "I hate sand."
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Or
it was so bland. Nowadays, it's extreme.
Yeah. Or the cat I has cheeseburger.
Yeah. I was a proud poster of icanhascheeseburger.com for years.
Oh.
Because that was what the memes I used to make were those. Nowadays, it's clips of ladybugs. And the Law and Order theme playing after it. That's how I've evolved.
Making suggestions towards pedophilic rape.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
It's great. Which a lot of people would be offended by. Like if you release that
video.
Public.
That video that I made is offensive. It very much is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's a joke.
Yeah.
and if you understand the context of the joke, it's not that offensive. But it's like everybody's thinking it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, let's think about this. So I mean, there's been memes about school shootings, right?
Yeah.
And after the last school shooting, they kind of spiked in popularity again because that's what they do.
Right.
Now, this didn't come up in media all that much. I didn't see it
not really.
As far as like the news covering or anything.
Yeah.
But like there was definitely memes about it. And they're awful. But they're supposed to make you laugh. Like that's the whole idea. Now whether or not you laugh at them, that's you, but
you know the fact that memes happened about the shootings themselves, but then also happened about the video about the shootings, and people get outraged about that. In a sense, it kind of proves that America cares more about music videos than actual atrocities.
Yeah, it really does.
So yeah.
But you see, it's just interesting because it's very selective on what people decide to get outraged about when they don't look into like the rest of the backlog of information and memes that are out there. Not that I'm saying you should.
Yeah. No, you definitely shouldn't. Stay away from 4chan at all costs.
But I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there that's just awful, and the whole point of it being awful is to make you go, "Oh my God, that's awful," but I kind of thought it was funny.
All right.
Now, whether you think it's actually funny is you, but you know, should it be done? I don't think so. Should it be allowed to be done? Yes. I think so.
This is a whole conversation about free speech. I very much think that memes should not be illegal. People should be allowed to make them.
For sure. I mean,
you should be allowed to not.
It's in the Constitution, God damn it.
Yeah.
You know?
Memes are constitutional.
Oh my God, yeah.
They're basic rights.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things where I don't want it to be made. I don't think it should be made, but I think it should be allowed to be made.
Right.
You know?
No, when I see a really... And see, here's the thing. There is a line for memes. Like, people will make some really tasteless jokes and nobody likes them because it's like at the end of the day, people who enjoy meme culture, a lot of them are decent humans. You can make kind of an edgy joke and you can laugh at it if it is in fact funny, but some of them they go so far it's like this isn't even funny.
Well, and I mean, there's a lot of memes that are released that aren't good, they're bad, and they're just horribly offensive.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yeah, and that's the whole idea that like a meme should be funny first off.
Yeah.
If it happens to be offensive, like if it's funny, then I'm not saying like it's good that people are making offensive content necessarily, but it's like it's not trying to be a political statement, and it's not trying to agree with any belief. It's just a joke.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, so horribly offensive content is out there, and whether or not it's actually funny and doing the purpose it should doesn't matter. The fact is that it should be allowed to be offensive content and be able to be released on certain platforms. Now, do you need to consume this content? No.
In fact, if anything, it should be easier to not consume this content.
Exactly.
Like, if there's any changes that need to be made, like, you need to not put effort into like stopping this content, and I don't even think effort is being made to stop this content. But what you need to do is make sure that you understand that this is how meme culture is, and if you're not okay with it, you should stay away from it.
Kinda, yeah.
Just like how a normal, well-adjusted human should act.
Yeah.
So
no, gosh, what was it you just said? I had something to go off of that. Oh, goodness sakes.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. God, I hate everything. Wow. This is going to be really entertaining when I sit here and try to figure out what I was going to say.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Yep, let's do it. Let's keep thinking.
What's that on your hat? Oh, nice. That's going to translate well to audio. He's got a golden Legend of Zelda cartridge pin on his hat.
Oh, goodness. I'm flummy today. I'm just coughing all over the place.
Well, I'm mostly satisfied with our conversation here. Like,
as far as talking about like offensive things, I think this went really well.
I think memes are bad, but free speech is good. So
yeah,
that boils down to it.
Goodness, yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say, so let's forget it. Let's go back to This Is America.
Okay.
So yeah, no, this video takes a lot of things and puts them under a microscope and says, wow, this is America. This isn't cool. This is kind of fucked up. Yeah. And that's the entire idea. And I think he gets it across fantastically. In fact, the entire production of this video is kind of unbelievable, and it is kind of genius.
It's a well-made video. The song itself, here's where it's going to get divisive, all right? And this is another, Anthony Fantano's gone on rants about this. He says, the song is just as good as the video, and it can be appreciated on its own. And he makes some good points about it, but honestly, this song is a little barren lyrically for my tastes. If you look into it, you can see minor like references. Like, well, he says police be tripping, and that is like, okay, we're heading in the right direction there. But like, Charlie's making some weird noises.
That's okay.
But like, there's not a lot there lyrically to the song. And here's the thing, before I go too far, that very well may be the point. I think that's the entire idea behind it, to say with very little words the message, because America, they just like references to parties and dancing, and there are those in this song. And when I heard them, I did understand that, like, when he's talking about how he's dancing and having a good time, it's ironic, that I did understand that much. But it's just, there's not a lot of real thoughtful commentary in there. It's all just kind of implied. And I would have liked him to have like gone further with his lyrics, I think.
I think that would have been too upfront. And I think that would have defeated the purpose about America not being upfront.
Okay.
Because I think the idea is that what he's singing and what he's talking about is America. You know, that's the idea. And so to go into that lyrically, I think would have been way too upfront and ruined kind of the idea behind it. But one of the lyrics that really gets me every time I listen to it is when he starts parroting Gucci Gang.
Yeah, right.
Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang.
Yeah, it's the same lyrical flow. I thought that was
and then
cool.
it's what was the second line? It was like contraband, 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 contraband. Yeah.
It's 100 bands, 100 bands, 100 bands, contraband, contraband, contraband.
Yep. And I mean, I think that's fantastic. I think that was really smart thing to do to put in there just to kind of
and there's references,
punch and poke at
just the worst rap song ever made.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to show like kind of how this is America and how it blew up and how that is what we're, you know, defining our country with. You know, because that was a huge thing. Gucci Gang was massive.
And this is what's interesting about the song is it's a collaborative effort too. There's a lot of features on this track. There's,
for sure.
To name a few, there's 21 Savage, I believe. There's Young Thug. There's I forget all the people on it. There's a lyrical reference to Kodak Black. But other than that, I should have really been prepared and looked up the entire list of features. But there's a lot of people on here.
One of the actual video directors was one of the directors or video something or another on Atlanta. Was working on it as well.
Oh yeah, it's
I forget
his name, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, that guy.
So I mean, it's massive. It's this huge collaborative project to kind of shine a huge light on America, and it's blown up, which is exactly what it was supposed to do. You know. Yeah. And one of the reasons I believe it blew up so much, which I talked about earlier with you before we recorded, was that it's very political, which automatically, you know, you'll get popularity off of that. And it's not particularly offensive to any one group of people.
Yeah, well, that's what I was kind of getting at with the entire idea behind the lyrics being so simplistic. It leaves a lot up to interpretation. Mm-hmm. What you said was it's so no particular group gets angry at it, but I think it's kind of the opposite. It's so that every group can choose which group to get angry at for it.
You know what? That makes a lot more sense, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because he leaves it ambiguous as to whose fault this is, but it's very clearly not. It's pretty heavily implied that African Americans are definitely at a loss and are disadvantaged, and that's very much true. And that's the other point of the video. And
I mean, there's signs pointing towards, you know, guns, being part of the issue, which is a huge thing in politics right now. There's signs towards the police being the issue, which is another big thing in politics right now. I mean, not that they're saying that, you know, these are the particular issues and this is what we're trying to get across, but it's something that you can interpret as being the overall issue. And honestly, I don't think those are either the particular issue he's picking at. I think the issue he's picking at is America. As kind of a whole being the issue. So as far as everybody getting angry, I think that is kind of the idea.
Yeah.
Now, whether they decide to point that at themselves or somebody else is up to them. But
yeah, it's that refrain of "This is America." It sends a message of like everybody's going to point fingers about who's to blame, but really everybody's to blame. You know, like there's no victim. Well, there's no victims or perpetrators. It's just everybody's to blame.
Yeah, everyone's a victim and everybody's a perpetrator.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a repeating thing.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it does have more specific things such as racial and gun connotations, but I think it's meant to be a bigger picture than that.
Yes, I agree.
Which, I mean, as an entirety, this video and this song go together. I'm also not a huge fan of the song. Like, as far as my musical tastes go, I'm not a huge fan.
Yes, and this is like, I didn't want to talk about this too much because it's the least important thing about the song. But no, it's not one of his better tracks from a musical standpoint, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's just my own tastes. Like I prefer more lyrical rap. I prefer him dropping bars and not doing this this trap pop rap thing. That's just kind of your that kind of thing. And I'm like,
and as much as I agree with that, and as much as I'm not a huge fan of it, I still think that this entire creation is genius. I think it's very smart, very well done.
I can appreciate it even if I don't necessarily love the music. You know, yes. I can appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, anything that involves that choir, that first beginning hook, that's what makes me actually kind of like the song.
It's a good hook. And it's been stuck in my head a fair amount, and I've been listening to it, so it's not a bad song. It's just compared to his other stuff, it's like kind of not really preferable for me.
But as far as where this is going, if the rest of his music or the next album is turning out more like this, I would not be upset.
But did you hear his other new track that he premiered on Saturday Night Live? It's very Awaken My Love-esque. It's kind of funky, funky disco tinged R&B. It's really groovy. Really,
that's very cool.
So I think his new album is going to be a combination of Awaken My Love style funk and old school rap, which would be really cool. Because that's kind of what awesome, I wanted from a new album from his. I was like, I kind of want a hybrid. I love the Awaken My Love aesthetic, and I love his older rap, and I want him to do both going forward. And it looks like that's kind of what he's doing.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, if he wants to go into this, more political route, more Rage Against the Machine-esque, as far as content, or as far as message, and not so much content, but message, I think that would be fantastic. I don't think there's enough people talking about this kind of stuff. As far as my political interests
it certainly has started a discussion, which is a good thing. As
far as my political interests go, doesn't matter. I think things should be talked about and brought more into the open. And that goes for everything. I think it's important to know the truth, and I think that this is kind of what it's poking at. And I think that's a good thing.
Right.
So I'm very, very happy with this song, and I want to hear more stuff kind of like it.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for both this and Year of the Snitch are basically the two rap albums I'm looking forward to.
And I'm super excited to hear the new Childish Gambino album whenever that drops. That'll be cool.
That's what I meant by this. Both the Childish Gambino and the Year of the Snitch.
Not just the song.
Oh, yeah, no.
I get you.
I'm looking forward to the new Childish Gambino album, whatever it is. For sure. Whenever it's coming.
Yeah. It's very exciting, though.
Yeah, very exciting. Yeah. I'm also looking forward to the new Red Hot Chili Peppers album, whenever that comes. Probably 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, if since I know this is such a big thing, I would love to hear some other people's stances on it.
Yeah.
I've done some research that I'm not really going to spew off right now because that would just be a bunch of boring facts. But if you guys want to get into a conversation about it, or just want to send us your ideas and opinions about this, I would love to hear them. If you don't want them read on the podcast, that's fine too. I'd still love to read them. Just make sure to post a thing saying, hey, don't read this on the podcast. But I'd still really like to hear from you guys about this, because I'm interested. I'm very interested in this song and what it's bringing up in the public. Yep. So if you want to send us something, send it to purplepandapodcast@gmail.com.
Or hit us up on Discord.
Or hit us up on Discord with an @
anything.
Because, we've both been super busy, so we might miss it if you don't add us.
I'm going to be even more busy in the coming days, so...
Yeah, I would love to hear more about this, if you want to chat. So that was a good one. That was a good discussion.
Yeah, and we still got some time left for movies, even.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot about movies.
I have 2 movies to talk about.
All right.
Do you got your... you want to start with the movie of the week?
Sure.
Okay.
What did I say was my movie of the week this week? I forgot. Colin, we just talked about
Did you write it down?
I didn't write it down.
Oh, What We Do in the
Yes!
Shadows.
That's right. Yeah, my movie of the week is What We Do in the Shadows by Taika Waititi. It is a mockumentary about a couple of vampires that are rooming together, and it's fantastic. It's hilarious throughout the entire movie, and Taika Waititi getting more popular is fantastic because more people are going to see this, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, it's a Christopher Guest style mockumentary, kind of in the spirit of Spinal Tap.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar, but New Zealand and about vampires.
Which is just, it's so stinking funny.
One of them's Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that.
And one of them's just Taika Waititi, and one of them's just Jermaine Clement.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's a thoroughly entertaining comedy.
And
yeah,
there's going to be
a sequel coming out.
Yeah.
There's a sequel and a series coming out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I forgot about that until just now.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm so excited, man.
The sequel is going to be called Werewolves. Like, we are wolves.
No, I understand.
And I couldn't be more excited. Because it's just a dumb pun for the name.
Oh, that's so good.
We're werewolves, not swearwolves.
Yeah, it's so good.
I think it's... I assume it's going to be about that random pack of werewolves, which I'm okay with, because, they were pretty funny. So
yeah. But no, it's a really good movie, and I would suggest anybody sit down and watch it. Mm-hmm. I had such a good time. It's just the right amount of ridiculous and fun and funny. Yeah. So yeah, that's my movie of the week.
Yeah, I agree. That's my movie of the week too.
Oh, okay.
No,
on to the other stuff.
I just saw High Plains Drifter, which I've been talking about seeing for a couple weeks now, and I finally saw it. And it's exactly what I wanted out of it, and it's very, very good. And I'm glad that I decided to see it. Without now, it's been brought to my attention that not a lot of people have seen this. I thought it was kind of a classic or cult classic, but people who weren't born in the 60s haven't really seen this one. And I think it came out in the 70s, like late 70s. But a little backstory. It is starring Clint Eastwood, as many Westerns do, but it was his first directed Western. It was his Western directorial debut. And it's very clear that Clint Eastwood is very much Sergio Leone's emo cousin when it comes to directorial styles. Because this is I think I heard that it's one of the first, but having seen the Dollars trilogy, I don't know if I would agree with that. But I've heard, this is one of the earliest examples of a quote unquote revisionist Western, which mostly means it's less black and white morally, it's less good and evil, it's more morally gray, and B, it's a lot more violent and a lot more gritty and realistic. And C, it's more sympathetic to the Native Americans. There's a scene in High Plains Drifter where a Native American family is just trying to shop in the general store, and the owner yells at them and calls them savages, and Clint Eastwood character steps in to help. So it has this attitude towards the Native American populations portrayed more as victims to white aggression than just savage monsters as they were in like classic Westerns. So, and then this is like the kind of the early genesis of that kind of portrayal. And it's a very, like I said, it's not a morally just movie. It's a very dirty, very mean, moody, extremely unflinchingly violent Western. And I don't want to give away too much about it, but it's got some elements that are extremely interesting to me personally, and I don't think I've ever seen a Western utilize them. And I would recommend seeing it for yourself to find out what it is. Don't look up too much about it, because it's like the main thing people talk about when they talk about this movie. But if you watch the movie not knowing that this certain thing is going to happen at a certain point in the movie, it'll be a way better experience. Because I went in knowing that it was going to happen, and I felt it kind of ruined the experience for me a little bit. So it may seem like your stereotypical Western for a while, but just know it takes a turn, and then you realize it turns the idea of a stereotypical Western on its head. And you're supposed to think that you're just in for like a John Wayne Western, and where in reality you get something far more horrific.
So, High Plains Drifter is one of those classic ones. I know the costume design from it, actually.
Okay.
The cigar in the mouth, the hat, the poncho thing.
Well, that was kind of Clint Eastwood's look for a lot of movies.
For sure, but this is kind of the iconic, this is the one that people use constantly as the staple Clint Eastwood style as far as Westerns. One of them, at least.
It would be
so
like
that's where I know
and
this
the
movie.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I think.
Yeah,
are the two
for
main
sure.
Ones.
So that's how I kind of know this. But when you first mentioned it, I didn't know Clint Eastwood. I didn't know anything. And when you said High Plains Drifter, I kind of thought about Hyper Light Drifter.
Yeah.
And so I thought for some reason this was a sci-fi movie. So I was really surprised when I looked it up and it was a Western.
It's a Western. It's got a cool name though.
It does.
It's a cool, memorable
really
name.
But yeah, no. Super interested to watch it.
The ending just blew me away. I was like, wow. It's actually the ending went from kind of disappointing. Oh man, I want to talk full spoilers, but
I mean, I can go watch it. And
let's do that because it's not going to be It's not going to be fulfilling if I'm just talking to you and you haven't seen it, and B, an audience that maybe hasn't seen it either. So
we'll get into it.
Yeah,
hopefully next week.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. Do you have any other movies to talk about? I've got one more.
I watched Shape of Water 3 times.
Cool.
So that's a real quick cover of what I did this past week. I watched Shape of Water.
Has your opinion
3 times?
Has your opinion changed at all?
I love this movie, my man. It's just gotten better. You see more small details.
I agree. I liked it more the second time I saw it too.
I've actually done a little bit more research into specific meanings of certain things. Particularly color theory stuff, because I dig color theory. Like the meaning of green and the meaning of red, which usually irritates me in a lot of movies, but because I love this movie so much, I can't do anything but go, oh. So I love it. I love it, and I love it. And then since I was so quick, I'm going to do my next one as well. I watched Hard Day's Night. Hard Day's Night, which is
the Beatles?
Yeah, the Beatles mockumentary.
Oh, the mockumentary.
Yeah.
What's the one I'm thinking of?
Around the World?
No.
What's that? Around the Universe?
Let It Be. I'm thinking
Let
of
It
Let
Be.
It Be. I've heard the name Hard Day's Night.
What am I thinking of?
I've heard the name Hard Day's Night, but I don't know anything about it. It's a mockumentary.
Yes, technically, it's
like a parody. Then?
Yes,
I actually didn't know that. I thought it was like an actual Beatles movie.
Well, because you would think that now, wouldn't you? Because it has all of the Beatles in it. But no, it's not a real movie. It's about the Beatles. They go on a train, and then they go to a party, and then they go to do this live showing of the Beatles on TV. And so they go to this studio and they start to get ready to go perform, and then everything builds up and Ringo runs away.
I don't know why I found that so funny. Ringo runs away.
Yeah,
and they have to go look for Ringo.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done. I'm running away, and he runs away. Nice. He meets a small boy, and he becomes friends with a small boy, and then he gets arrested.
It sounds very much like the plot of Kung Fu Master.
You know what? Yeah. No, but it's hilarious. This entire movie is a comedy. It's fantastic. And it was almost my movie of the week, but then I was thinking about mockumentaries, and that's how we got to What We Do in the Shadows, which is a better mockumentary in my opinion.
Fair enough.
The more I think about it, the more I probably just should have picked this as my movie of the week. You would probably really like this movie.
Okay. Yeah, you know my opinion on the Beatles, but I also like comedy, and so
it's a British comedy,
right? Okay, no,
British comedy mockumentary. It's right up your lane.
Yeah.
it's really funny all the way through. You know, I was laughing from start to finish. The only reason I think I didn't really want to pick it was because I just did my final on this movie, where I had to critically analyze it within the time given, which was 30 minutes after the movie.
Okay.
And that was rough because usually I watch the movie 3 times like I did with The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
before I do anything like that. So I was a little bit more frustrated with this movie than I think I should have been. So I would like to rewatch it sometime.
Cool.
And I had a lot of fun, and I think you'd enjoy it. I think. So yeah, you get to see very, very young John Lennon and Ringo and the
So
rest
when did
of
this
them.
come out?
60s or 70s, I believe.
I would. Okay. Here, I'll look it up.
Yeah, please do. But
and then,
I mean,
and then I'll talk about my.
It's entirely black and white, but it's really good. It was fun. Recurring jokes are always good.
Yeah, indie film, comedy, music. 1964.
64. So yeah, it's got classic Beatles songs in it that I didn't really recognize because I don't recognize a whole lot of classic Beatles songs except for A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, okay.
But it was fun.
Cool. I knew nothing about this movie. It looks kind of interesting. I'll add it to my watch list.
For sure.
I thought it was just like another Beatles documentary. I assumed.
I did too until I watched it.
Yeah.
and then yeah, it's not technically it's not supposed to even be considered a Beatles film as much as it's supposed to be considered a mockumentary.
Okay.
Which makes sense because it's not true. So I mean, but anyway,
okay.
It was fun.
Cool. My other film I saw is much less interesting. It's Dan in Real Life, which was our mystery movie.
Dan in Real Life.
Yeah, it stars Steve Carell as a depressed dad.
Yep.
And I have weird feelings about this movie. On the one hand, it's a passable romance comedy. It was kind of touching, kind of funny. On the other hand, Steve Carell is such a horrible character. Not horrible as in horribly written, but he's just a really bad person. Like, the idea is you're supposed to sympathize with Steve Carell and be jealous of Dane Cook, who is his brother, who is like more handsome and he gets more girls. But, like, at the end of the movie, I was like, I'm more on Dane Cook's side. Like, Steve Carell's kind of a jerk.
All right.
So, I was sympathizing with Dane Cook, something I never thought I'd do.
Yeah, I guess.
And Dane Cook's, like, a halfway likable character in this. And I was like, what is this, like, bizarro world? Like, Steve Carell's kind of this unlikable jerk, and Dane Cook's, like, a likable guy. And I'm like, what?
Oh, goodness.
It's usually the opposite. No, it's a perfectly watchable romance comedy. I didn't regret seeing it, but it has some really skewed morals.
All right.
So be warned. It's yeah. It's an interesting movie. Nowhere near movie of the week material, and I'm very glad I watched High Plains Drifter because that very much is movie of the week material.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got a very quick thing on TV. Have you seen any TV?
No, my family doesn't own a TV.
Good. I watched more Community. That was fun.
Cool.
I've also watched the majority of the first season of The Simpsons.
Oh, nice.
Which is fun. You know, it's The Simpsons. It's classic. And then I've also started watching Shameless, if you know anything about that.
I do, actually.
Do you?
It's got William H. Macy.
It does, and it's fantastic.
Cool. I've been considering checking that out because it looks interesting.
It's good. I really like it. It's mature rating, which I didn't know until I started it, and all of a sudden.
Oh yeah, it's got more sex than Game of Thrones.
Yes,
right? That's from what I understand.
Per
about
episode, like every episode.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
That's what I understand about it.
It's
essentially comedy drama / softcore pornography.
Yeah, and it's really pretty good. I'm liking it more than I thought I would. and I'm probably going to watch way more of it.
Neat. I would just come for William H. Macy. That's
Which
just
is understand. He's a shitty person in this, but
I know,
it's hilarious.
but I love William H. Macy.
Yeah, it's so good. So yeah, I would suggest watching Shameless if you haven't. Moving on, I guess, to kind of wrap up the show, we got video games.
Yeah.
Which I've actually been playing a decent amount of video games because my Nintendo 3DS, which I got a while ago, and I didn't even think about until a couple weeks ago, now has a couple more games on it because I downloaded them.
Nice.
Because I got excited.
What'd you get?
I got Pokemon Yellow
Nice.
edition. I got Super Metroid, which I've never played before, and the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, and then the Link Between Worlds.
Oh, okay. The second one.
No.
A Link to the Past was the first one. A Link Between Worlds was the second
maybe
one.
it was Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't even know anything about the Zelda series. I'm just a stickler for pedantics.
No, that's fine. I haven't played Link to the Past then yet, but
so
I have it.
Which one is it? It is Link.
I think so. I think you're right.
It's like it came out in like the 90s.
Yeah, the SNES one. I think you're right though.
Yeah, 1991. A Link to the Past.
Yeah, that sounds right. I've been playing a shitload of Pokemon Yellow.
Cool.
I didn't realize how much I've been missing like classic Pokemon until recently. So I've put 12 hours into Pokemon Yellow.
I still have Pokemon Blue on the Game Boy Color upstairs.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I absolutely love these games. Like, as a little kid, I remember riding in the car with my Game Boy Color and playing these.
At night, you couldn't see the screen.
Yeah.
And you would
you'd have to get a flashlight.
Get a flashlight, or you could only play in the passing passing street lamps.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nostalgic, and I remember specifically playing this game while going up to my great uncle's funeral, which sounds terrible, but I remember me playing with my Bulbasaur.
That doesn't.
And I got him to evolve into a Wartortle,
okay.
And I was so pumped right before my great grandfather's funeral.
Right. Yeah.
Which is awful, but still. I have very fond memories of these.
I have a similar memory.
Yeah?
When I was a kid, we went to visit my aunt in the hospital, and I was playing Fire Red on the Game Boy Advance. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and every time I play Pokemon, I always have vivid memories of me playing Pokemon and then something awful happens.
Yeah.
So the first one was my great-grandfather's funeral, and the second one I was playing Pokemon Ruby on my Game Boy Advance, driving in the middle of the night from Winona, because it had been raining horribly, so we're getting out of here, and then we got in our car and we're driving out, and I'm playing Pokemon Ruby. I had beaten the Elite Four, and now I was going to try to get the 3 dogs, and I ran into... it's a gray kind of dog Pokemon.
Growlix.
No.
I don't even know that's the name of a real Pokemon.
Anyway, then we got stuck in a flood.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We had to walk about a mile through water that was about waist high.
Cool.
To get back to an area where we could get picked up by a fire truck.
Nice.
And then taken to the Red Cross.
That's never happened to me.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, boy. We lost our van.
Wow.
It got pushed a long ways.
Wow.
Along with our camper. Yeah. No,
Wow.
it was bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was bad. Well, we were following this car.
Was this before Was Jacob around at this point?
Yeah, he was around. My dad carried him.
Okay.
Because, it would have been over his head.
Cool.
At that time. But yeah, we were following this car ahead of us, and it made it across. It made it to where it needed to go, but we got stuck on like a bundle of sticks or something that was just on the road under the water.
Yeah. Because
it was just water. We couldn't see the road.
Mm-hmm.
So we got stuck on like sticks, and then the water just kept rising and rising and rising. So we got out.
When you get stuck on sticks, all you can do is just come sail away.
You're right.
And that's what your band did.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I played a little bit of Super Metroid. I got stuck for about 2 hours.
Yeah, that's Super Metroid.
And then I figured out what I did wrong, and I felt really dumb.
The Metroid I played when I was a kid was not Super Metroid because I'm a baby, millennial. I didn't play Super Metroid. I played Metroid Zero Mission and Metroid Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Both of which are great games, in my opinion. I have never played Super Metroid. I'm sure I would be unable to do so because of my modern sensibilities.
I don't know. It's actually pretty good. It reminds me a lot of Axiom Verge, if you've played that.
Well, because Axiom Verge is like a spiritual successor.
Essentially, it's just Metroid.
Yeah.
But like I played Axiom Verge first, so it feels like that for me.
Right.
But it feels good. Like I'm not like, oh wow, this feels really dated. No, it feels good.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll be playing more of that, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Very cool.
Otherwise, in other news, we got Fortnite, which I figured out was free, so I tried that for the first time.
Battle Royale specifically.
Yes, Battle Royale. Tried that for the first time. It was alright.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Very
interesting.
rarely does a game become so popular that I just want to avoid it on principle, but Battle Royale is one of those.
Understandably.
For fear of being called a filthy normie.
I can't believe that it overtook Minecraft as the top searched video
Has
game.
it really?
It has.
Wow.
It's
and
crazy.
Minecraft's actually good.
Yeah.
How is Fortnite as a game?
It's solid. Like, it's just a solid game. It's. I don't have really any complaints because I haven't played it a whole lot. But I mean, it has a learning curve, which I haven't gotten over yet because I haven't played it enough.
I've seen people play Fortnite and they're doing stuff that I'd be like, I don't think I'll ever get to that level.
Well, yeah.
I like the fact that it's like it lets good players be good.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Which is good.
I have no problem with the game fundamentally, except for the fact that it's about the 18,000th battle arena game that's come out in the past 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, but this game's been out forever.
Well,
I guess.
Fortnite's been out for a
Yeah.
while. Battle Royale is a pretty new addition. It came out this year. And it's
just weird.
It's a response to
PUBG.
PUBG specifically, whereas PUBG is like about the 31st in a line of like a bunch of games that are all the same thing.
That are all kind of bad.
Yeah, so I do not care about
that's fine. I mean,
Fortnite.
I hadn't played a battle royale game at all.
Like
I
little
didn't touch 'em.
did I know when we were all obsessed with DayZ, the DayZ mod. Little did I know that would lead to this. Like that kind of kicked it off, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't play the DayZ mod, and I didn't do any battle royale things whatsoever until Fortnite a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Fair enough. I've been avoiding them.
That's fair.
Just because it's just like they're all the same thing. People will be obsessed with a different one every week. So
yeah, but this, I mean, oh my god, Fortnite's massive.
Yeah,
like it's really blown up.
I don't get why specifically Fortnite's the one that blew up. Maybe it's because it's like
it's more polished for sure.
It's polished. It's like AAA. I think it's family friendly to a certain extent. It's like T-rated, right?
And now they got Thanos in it.
Yeah, Thanos is in it.
That part makes me kind of sad, but
yeah.
Oh well.
I'll give it. It's kind of fun to watch, and it like streamers play, but I don't think I would ever give it a shot. It's just not my thing. Yeah, I don't have the patience for a game like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's one of those games that's way more fun with friends, so I don't know if I'm going to be playing it a whole lot either.
Yeah, I've been the Land Crew is doing things again recently, so we might give Fortnite a shot. Recently, we've been playing. Oh yeah, I should talk about that. Land Crew is fully operational once again because it's the summer, and three of us are in town here and don't have much else to do, so we've been playing video games. Our big two, one of which has always been one of our big ones. It's Fistful of Frags, which is a free game, and this is an advertisement. We're sponsored by the developers of Fistful of Frags. Fistful of Frags is a free game on the Steam store, and it's built off the Source engine, and it's a Western shooter.
That's
and
neat.
The entire idea behind it is your weapons are very unreliable. So you have to just get acquainted to using these slow, unreliable weapons in strategic ways to win as many fights as possible before being full of lead. And it's strangely addictive. It's like you get
a fun game.
You get a rifle.
It's like chivalry, but now it's Western.
Yeah, you get a
cool.
rifle that doesn't have a scope, and you can shoot it once, and then you have to reload for like 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. And you get the pistols that are, it's interesting. It's like you're using Wild West weaponry, which means it's the anti-Call of Duty, and everything's very inefficient and very slow. Mm-hmm. But it's a fast-paced game because it's in the Source engine. So a lot of fights involve people furiously reloading at one another, which is always hilarious.
Oh, that is pretty good.
Every once in a while, we have a confrontation between
two snipers,
two actual people in a room, and we empty our mags. We empty our revolvers, and then it's like we're out, and we're just standing there just reloading. More often than not, when I empty my when I have to reload a gun in that game, and it's like a semi-close quarters circumstance, I just abandon the gun and like use my fists or a knife. You can have a knife as a backup. I usually just switch to a knife and just.
And knives work pretty well.
Yeah. Melee weapons are a good go-to in that game because the guns are so ineffective usually.
Well, otherwise, in other news...
one more game. The new Unreal Tournament, which is from Epic Games, the developers of Fortnite. Yes. And I now have the means to download Fortnite on my PC because I have to download the Epic Games launcher, which comes with Unreal Tournament, Fortnite, and a couple other games. So it's like... It's just right there. I could just click a button and download Fortnite right now on this laptop. It's tempting me, but I'm not going to do it. But the new Unreal Tournament, it's in pre-alpha, which means it's very much not a finished game, and it definitely shows. Yeah. But it's fun. It is for the most part classic Unreal Tournament.
It is.
Yeah, it is Unreal Tournament. It's not cool. Maybe I still prefer I'm gonna get flack for this, but my favorite Unreal Tournament's Unreal Tournament 3, and many people say that one sucks, but I don't know. I kind of like it. It's not. They're going for more of like an Overwatch, Fortnite style, like cartoony style, rather than realistic graphics. Which is, I'm not upset about it because that's just what the series is. It's way too over the top to be taken seriously anyway. And Unreal Tournament 3 tried, and they made it all like dark and gritty, but it's like, it's too ridiculous for that. it's impossible to take it seriously.
Cool.
So yeah, I like the new one, and it's free, so no reason not to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun.
You should download it.
Yeah.
In other news,
which
I'm going to keep bringing up until it finally releases, Dark Souls Remastered is coming.
Yeah? When does it come out?
25th.
Of this month?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm so excited, my man.
I'm
so excited. I've downloaded the online beta.
Oh yeah,
that they're having that opens up tomorrow.
Nice.
And I'm gonna play it.
What system are you gonna play on?
PS4.
Cool.
And I'm so pumped. If anybody wants to fight me in Dark Souls, fight me in Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for And Spyro. Spyro's coming.
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited for that as well.
Also later this month, which relates to, I was going to talk about the Far Cry 5.
Yes, you were.
Season Pass later this month, May 27th, I believe. Season Pass holders will get to play Far Cry 3 Classic on their console of choice.
That didn't come out until now?
No, it's not. No, it's not out yet. It comes out May 27th.
That's fine.
And early June for people who don't hold the Season Pass. I am a season pass holder simply because they said we're gonna have 3 DLC packs: 1, zombies; 2, Vietnam; 3, aliens. And I was like, what?
So wait, Call of Duty Zombies, go to a Vietnam War and see horrors.
And
Aliens.
then aliens on Mars.
Aliens. You know aliens? You get aliens.
It's
aliens.
This is insanity. And you know what? We were discussing, and it's very obvious. They're trying to recreate Blood Dragon, essentially. Like, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm okay with that, because Blood Dragon was insane. If they can keep that level of insanity for this, I'll be cool with it. I'm actually pretty excited for the zombie one, because Far Cry 5 is essentially a zombie game already. So they're going to have, like, real zombies now.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, there's some weird additions to Far Cry 5. There are now enemies that are brainless zombies. They'll run at you, and you have to kill them with a headshot.
Oh.
And they take a lot of damage. And they come in swarms.
Ah.
Well, sometimes they come in swarms. They're called angels, and they're more specific in one region. If you go to one region, you have to worry about A, magic animals, B, zombies. And that's just one of the many ways in which Far Cry 5 has kind of gone off the deep end.
What?
And I kind of appreciate it. It's
okay.
It's not the best Far Cry game, but it sure is the most entertaining.
That's fair.
There's this entire region that's like where they used to grow this mind-altering drug. And as you're in that region, like, you start to hallucinate. You will see, like, a chicken walk up to you, and if you try to shoot it, it'll disappear, and then in its place, a black bear will be there, and it'll attack you.
Good.
You will see the Faith Seed just walking around randomly, and it's pretty freaky.
The what?
Faith Seed's one of the main antagonists of the games. She'll just be there occasionally, and then you get these people who are angels, and they're people who resist the cult, and they give them so much drugs that they become brainless servants, and they run at you like zombies.
All right.
And that game's insane, and I enjoy it.
Cool.
And I should probably give an updated review of Far Cry 5, because I have now beaten it. It's okay. They took out a lot of things that makes Far Cry. Some of them work, some of them don't. The fact that you don't climb towers to reveal the map. It reveals as you go places. It's like procedural. That's both good and bad. I actually like the climbing towers mechanic. Maybe I'm weird, but everybody hates it. I actually enjoy it.
It has its ups and downs.
Yeah.
For sure. Having to go into every nook and cranny of a world, though, is kind of irritating.
Yes, that's what you run into. It's like when you go into a region, you can just explore it at your heart's content. There's no, like, one point you have to make it to, but also, you know, it's meant to encourage exploration. Yeah. Which works and it doesn't, because I look at my map and there's regions I haven't even been to, and I'm like, the game's given me no reason to go there, so I'm just not going to go there.
Well, and there's a lot of games that have solved this by making it so that it is just like that, where you go places and it reveals the map, but then you can buy a map that reveals the area if you want.
But at that point, you might as well just have towers, because it's a better gameplay option.
For sure. And I mean, there could be like a dungeon that you have to go to find the map. Yeah. Like, that would be just as cool.
Yeah.
But to have like these like cool maps that are drawn out that you have to find.
Where you go to a dungeon, you have to get the map.
For sure. I think that would be a very smart thing to do, which they don't seem to understand. And instead just keep jumping between these two things, which is fine.
But see, the thing is, the thing about the towers in Far Cry 3 and 4 is they weren't boring. They were fun, like, parkour challenges.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the point of those aren't being boring. The point is that they want you to explore the world. Which I didn't do a whole lot in Far Cry.
But see, the thing is, people say, oh man, there's towers, you just gotta climb a bunch of towers. It's like, I didn't see it that way. Every tower was like its own little challenge, which was neat. I will say, the hands down, hands down, the coolest thing in Far Cry 5 is the prepper stashes, which is what they have instead of the towers. They're these little environmental puzzles, little environmental challenges like the towers, but they're not as specific. They're not just specifically towers. There's some of them are houses you have to find your way through, Resident Evil 7 style. In fact, it feels like Resident Evil 7 a lot. Okay. Occasionally, it turns the game into a straight-up horror game when you go into these prepper stashes. A lot of times. It's weird.
Alright.
Because and a lot of them are in decrepit caves with these angels wandering around. A lot of them are like you have to climb up a mountain, and it's very cool. And you have a good reason to do them because you get a lot of loot from them. You get a lot of money. You get a lot of perk magazines, which give you a perk point to unlock a perk.
They just don't perk you up.
Yeah.
They don't just make you a
and
little horn dog or anything. No.
That is by far the best gameplay addition to the game. And if they keep two things for whatever the next Far Cry game is, I want them to have something like prepper stashes. Can't call them prepper stashes unless it's somehow a sequel to Far Cry 5. Given the ending of Far Cry 5, I doubt it. But and then the other thing is I want them to keep melee weapons because those are super fun.
Yeah.
They have melee weapons with similar functionality to how they were in Far Cry Primal in Far Cry 5. And they're so fun and so effective that you can take out camps without using guns if you want to because they're just so good.
Cool.
Anyway, those are my two things. And then next Far Cry game, let's bring it back to the mechanics of Far Cry 3 because a lot of the new mechanics suck in Far Cry 5. The upgrade system is just the worst thing ever, and I hate it, and I want to go back to the way things were because it was tried and true, and it worked in the previous Far Cry games. And I understand they wanted to try something new, but okay, you've had that experiment. It failed. Let's do good things again. And yeah, that's the end of my rant.
Okay.
Far Cry 5 is okay. There's good things and there's bad things. It evens out to a solid okay.
Cool. Dark Souls is coming.
I know.
I'm so excited. That's all I've been thinking about for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I hate how much I love Dark Souls.
Yes.
Very exciting. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up, though.
It does. And we're at about an hour and 26 minutes, so it's a perfect time.
Oh, cool.
Okay, yeah. See you next week.
Email us at purplepandapodcast@gmail.com. I checked the email today. It was empty. I was sad.
And now for the meme video of the week. Enjoy.
Oh, do you put those on there now every week?
Oh, yeah, I have been for months.
Okay.
Enjoy.
Somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you.